Happy Mother's Day to all of the bio moms, step moms, my boyfriend got a baby and I don't moms, aunties, anybody who played a motherly figure in anybody's life, teachers, y'all moms, y'all more moms than us bio moms because you spend a lot more intimate time with our kids than we do, especially if we work. Um, I'm here at the charging station. That's the hum you got going on. So pardon the hum. I'm getting my charging time in. Uh, so Friday I got very sick. Don't know what happened. Headaches, low blood pressure. Um, believe it was dehydration. I'm good now, but I had some Marriott points to use, and my kids have been asking to go to a pool. Because last year we didn't go in any water, and I'm a water person. I like the beach and all that nasty shit. You know what I mean? So anyway, I had some Marriott points that were going to expire, and we took a impromptu trip to Handover, Maryland. At and we're staying at a place called Elements, I believe. Very nice, very nice. Only cost me 12,500 points. Very nice. So I'm up. My family's still sleeping. I am enjoying my continental breakfast, which right now is just coffee because after I drink, I gotta wait 30 minutes. So why not charge the car while I wait my 30 minutes before I could eat? So we took my car, the Ford Mustang Mach-E. We took my car on the road trip. It did fabulous, except for the front camera fault situation that I've been dealing with. But I'm on the Mach-E forum because I'm a car girl, and it seems to be the way the wire was configured. So this car had a windshield recall, and that is around the time that it started happening. So what happened is they take the windshield off, they had to reglue it back, and they put everything back together. And if the cord is not put back in or routed the same way, it could have these issues. And I noticed that the fault would come on when I hit bumps. So it seems like it's not just a me problem; it seems to be a everybody problem. It was in the forum, and these people go die hard in the forum. So they already put out the TSB, which is the operating manual on how the technicians are supposed to fix the issue and fix the wire and check to see if the wire is damaged. So before, when I would hit a bump, the message would come on 30, 40 seconds later, it would come back off until I hit another bump. But halfway on this road trip, it never came back off. And I'm going to tell you why it sucks, because I cannot use cruise control. I cannot use any kind of cruise control without that camera working. Um, might be a good thing and a bad thing because the car's autonomous because it can drive itself. However, I get really sleepy when I'm not driving the car. And don't worry, the car yells at you, open your eyes, keep your eyes on the road. But so I'm about good 5 hours away and I have to drive back. But it's good. My husband drives. So if we could, both of us could drive. But I did it all the way here. We stopped to first use the bathroom for the kids, and then we had to stop to charge, which was 30 minutes. So it really wasn't that bad. I technically did not have to charge. Um, we were only about an hour away, but by the time I got here, I would have been at like 8% battery. And it's a waste of money if you rapid charge below 20% because it slow charges until it gets to 20% and then it rapid charges. So I'm like, I'm not going to risk it. When we got here, it was like 20 something percent. So we got in the pool. We had a good time. We ate. I wanted to eat locally. Taking my kids to a restaurant after being on a road trip and going in a pool is an absolute no-no. I would not do it to you patrons on Saturday night because I'm not an asshole. Don't take your tired toddlers to a date night spot and they about to explode, right? So we did road trip. They slept for maybe 30 minutes on the road trip and they did the pool. You know how cranky they would have been sitting in a restaurant on date night on Saturday night? No. So I wanted to eat locally. Went on my Grubhub app, asking the kids what they wanted. Guess what they wanted? McDonald's. So I ended up getting McDonald's for the kids and my husband, and I ended up going to a Korean spot and getting some kimchi and rice and stuff. I didn't want McDonald's. Anywho, so I get up in the morning really early. Got up at 6:30 because that's my normal time. I'm up at 6:30. I have this on because I went into the pool without my wig and it got wet and I had to wash my hair with their products. So, because I wasn't planning on getting my hair wet, but my kids was like wanted to see me float and I haven't been in a pool in forever. So, whatever. I'm here to live, enjoy my free room with my points. But anywho, am I off the rails again? I was talking about this car, right? But anyway, the car did a really good job. It was a very smooth ride, except for this fault, which I knew about. I don't have an appointment to see the dealer until the end of May. And that's, there's early appointments, but I don't want to take off work to go take this car in. So I'm armed with the information from the forum. When I get there, I'm going to say, look, here's the TSB. It's in the system. Fix the wire, get it straight. And after that is fixed, this car should be golden. I know better. I did this with my Mazda RX-8. I bought the first generation that came out, and you don't buy the first generation of a car without knowing what that means. Now, I bought the first generation of this car because I bought it during the pandemic and shortage, and I could not find a new one with all-wheel drive and everything that I wanted. I couldn't find it. I was willing to buy this car brand new, get my federal tax incentive, but I could not find one with all-wheel drive, everything I wanted. And without a 20 to 25,000 dealer markup. So when I did find it, actually it was in this area, Virginia, Maryland area, I found it. MSRP with everything 66. I'm like, cool. 80 something with the dealer markup. And I paid dealer markup on the Kia, but it was like 5,000 for the dealer markup on the Kia. This car, because it was so hard to find, new, $20,000 to $25,000 markup. So anyway, I found it on Carvana, all-wheel drive, and I had to pay $2,000 to get it here shipped from Florida. Funny thing about it is this car was bought in Jersey, then went to Florida, and I had to pay to get it back. But anyway, I knew what I was getting into. It was a 2022 I could have chose from, but it didn't have all-wheel drive. And I live in New York, and I wanted all-wheel drive because of the snow. But guess what? It hadn't snowed. It hasn't snowed like that for me to really use all-wheel drive. But, it's good to have, I guess, whatever. But I knew that when I had my Mazda RX-8, it was the first one, first generation. We're the fucking test dummies. I know that. You don't buy this car. You buy it knowing what you're doing, what you're getting into, because you're a car girl. You're a car girl. I go to the charging station. It's always a conversation. It's like a community. It's always a conversation. And I'm a wealth of information. I will sit there and I'll talk to you about this car, the benefits. One guy asked me, just to be curious, no disrespect, black guy. He was like, why didn't you get a Tesla? I said, Elon Musk hates niggers. And he was like, what? Don't say that. I was like, you don't know about the $11 million judgment against the black man that sued for discrimination and won? Come on. He's the African that doesn't like the darkness, okay? Don't be fooled. Elon Musk is South African. Right, but South African apartheid, white people, racism, we should all know that. But anyway, I'm being funny. Yes, that's probably the reason. But actually, have you ever seen a Tesla? They're pretty much trash. Trash. They put all the money in the battery and the charging speeds, but the lines are off. There's no metal in this car whatsoever. This part is plastic on my car, but it's metal. Is this plastic or metal? Anyway. It's still a lot more metal in this car. I think the Tesla's all plastic. The lines don't, like the lines in the trim are off. They just crank them out. They crank them out. And to me, the market is oversaturated. Before, when you used to see a Tesla on the road, you used to double turn, double take. Tesla hasn't changed its design in what, 10, 12 years. They just crank out the same design. Granted, it is a very good looking car, but it's done. I'm a car girl. I like to stand out. Um, if I could afford it, and I could afford it, and I wanted something unique, and duh, and I'm willing to spend money. People spend money, get their hair done, their nails done. Men go to the barber every week. I like cars. I've always liked cars. I think when I count back on how many cars I've had, I think this is number 15, and I might be missing some. Like, literally, I get a car every 3 years. Every 3 years. I think the longest car that I've had, not counting my husband's car, because he had that car 10 years, I believe, the Montero. I switch it out every 3 years. And I finance. I've never leased a car, and I've never lost money from financing. I've always made money. And the biggest money I made was selling my Dodge Journey. I got 7 grand more than what I paid for it because it was during the pandemic and they wanted used cars. So I've never had a car that I financed that I've lost money on. I've always got it for what I owed in the loan and or made money. And besides the Kia is the only car, the Kia in this car, because I traded in the Hyundai Accent for this car, which is about 16,000, so that counts as my down payment. Because of the pandemic and the shortage, these are the only 2 cars out of 15 that I've ever had to put money down for. If I finance, it was 0%, 1.9%. My smart car was 7 years, 0%. You know what I mean? Love that car, but I had twins. Um, but anywho, that just goes to show you. So, am I totally invested in this car? For now, for now, am I, as of this point, looking at my phone, building a 2023 Lightning? Yes. If you don't know what a Lightning is, it is an electric Ford F-150. What the fuck am I going to do with an electric Ford F-150? I don't know, but the shit is sexy and big. And I was in a thing of having small cars. And I think I was in a thing of having small cars because I like to race them. The Mazda RX-8, I liked it. Then the gas issue happened. I had a smart car and I could fill up for $10, and it had a turbo, so it was little and fast. And it was $10 every 2 weeks for me to fill it up and go back and forth to work when gas was almost $5. You know what I mean? Then it became $20 when gas was almost $5, but that lasts me 2 weeks, $20 every 2 weeks or whatever. So I kind of stayed with the small cars, and then I got a Hyundai Accent out of necessity because I had the kids and I needed to fit them in the car seat. And I went on unpaid maternity leave. So we couldn't invest that much. We paid 14,000 for the car, like I said, and I sold it for 16. So I made two grand off of a car I had for a couple of years. And what was I gonna say? Oh, so now I got this car because, one, I could afford it. We sold our co-op and made some money. So, one, I could afford it, and two, I needed a bigger car because their feet, the Hyundai, their feet were right up against the car. And somebody said, if you get into an accident, their legs are gonna break. And they were right. It was too small for them. It worked when they were infants, but not as toddlers now. So got this car, whatever. And, now I'm looking at the Lightning, and I have access, very convenient, easy access for free charging. So even if I get the Lightning, like, I charge for free, my miles are free. So like this car was charged on free New York State Environmental Protection Act. You put up free charging stations around New York State. I got here for free. Didn't cost me nothing. You know what I mean? It's going to cost me stuff to go back because there are free charging stations around here. But I would have to leave this 8, 9 hours and walk back to the hotel. I'm not doing that. I'm not familiar with the area. I look like a tourist. I'm going to pay the little $9, $10 it costs to get this car charged, But anywho, I'm enjoying my trip. I really like road trips. I love it. I packed um 5 salami sandwiches, chips, yogurt, all kind of stuff for the road trip. Water, iced tea, Capri Suns. You know, you freeze the Capri Suns, they become ice packs that you could drink. Anyway, I really do enjoy a road trip. Um, I took a road trip to Florida when my kids were months old. Big mistake, but I think they're old enough now to handle another road trip to Florida because they can handle the tablet and feed themselves. My poor husband, they weren't old enough to hold the bottles when we went to Florida. He had to reach over and hold the bottles up for them. It was crazy. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. You know, I was mommy brain, new parent. I wasn't thinking right. I wasn't thinking right. I also took them to Puerto Rico when they were 4 months old. Jesus, my poor husband. He just says yes. You know, your God bless him because he just says yes to all my shenanigans. Have a good time. Let me take the reins. That's what I am. I'm an alpha go getter. He knows what he got into and he benefits. Okay, our life is great. Um, but anyway, happy Mother's Day. I am the reluctant mother who is now enjoying motherhood because my kids are 4. Motherhood was not enjoyable with multiples. Having a very, very small support system. Um, no siblings. I don't have siblings to watch my kids. And it's pretty much me, my husband, and my mom. And if I didn't have my mom, I don't know what the fuck I would do. So I'm not gonna tell her this because she get a big head, but I could not do this without my mother. I still couldn't do it without my mother. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm gonna get emotional, but don't you tell her because I'm hard as a rock and we don't show emotion to each other. We two hard ass bitches. But anyway, I'm gonna give my mother kudos on Mother's Day. I didn't get her nothing because, like me and my husband said, like I think we're done. We're just done with stuff. You know, this is my Mother's Day present. Just getting away and spending the night in a hotel. I don't want anything. Like he was gonna get me a new phone because I was talking about getting a new phone, but I really do. I don't need a new phone. I have an S20. I was looking at the S23 Ultra with the stylus, and yes, it's nice. It's $1,200 unlocked, but nothing's wrong with this one. The battery is going, but I don't go anywhere where I don't have access to power. I sit at my desk. I have a charger. I drive. I plug this in for Android Auto, even though it's wireless Android Auto by default because I'm not used to all the hoopla. I plug it in. It's charging. I get home. It's charging. I'm never not anywhere. I don't take public transportation where I don't have access to charger. And even now, I think buses have outlets, right? So no, the battery is not as great as it used to be, but it doesn't matter. It's always plugged in, and that's probably why the battery is always fucked up. It's always plugged in. So until something happens, like before this phone, I had the S8, right? And it goes to show you how long I keep the phone, right? Because the numbers correspond with the year. So 2018, I got a phone. And that's when my babies were born. I want a better camera because I wanted to snap away. And I didn't get another phone until 2 years later. And the only reason why I got a new phone is because um, I don't think my phone was 5G at the time. Or if it was, I don't know. Anyway, it started glitching and it started failing. And the pictures were getting distorted. So something was happening with the phone. Probably had a virus on it because I watch a lot of porn. And no, I don't want a VPN. I like it raw. So probably that. I don't know. But anyway, I was like, let me just get a new phone. I got an S20. It's 2023. There's really nothing wrong with it. I don't need it. But anyway, I digress. My husband was going to get me a new phone and he wanted to talk to me about it first before he went out and did it because he knows his wife. I don't like surprises. Talk to me about it. We work on it together. Like the end of the conversation was my anxiety was going up and he was like, do you just want to buy it and put it on my card? And I said, yes, honey. Thank you. But I was researching and doing it, and I was like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't want it. So I say this to say, like, I didn't want to get my mother anything because we just stuff. I just don't want any more stuff. I have 4. You know, he was like, what about perfume? I have 4 perfumes that are in rotation. I don't think I need anything more. And the only reason why I wear perfume because I feel like it finishes an outfit. You could wear a rainbow outfit and costume jewelry and somehow spraying on perfume makes you seem like a rich white woman. I don't need anything else. I don't need shoes. I have to wear special wide width flat shoes because my feet are jacked up from being 300 pounds for a long time. So I don't want anything else. Like when our basement flooded, I had no emotional attachment except for the pictures of my mother when she was a young woman. I just threw everything in bags and threw it out. I just don't want any more stuff. I don't want stuff. And I think my husband feels the same way. And actually buying stuff for somebody, especially my mother who is full of stuff, I just didn't want to do. So this is my Mother's Day present and I love it. I don't know what I'm going to do for my mother. I don't want to get her anything. I don't want to get her stuff. So I might just do something with her, you know. And my husband for Father's Day, we're going to brew at the zoo. That's his Father's Day present. Experiences. Even with the kids, like this for the kids. I didn't want to buy them anything. I'm just going to start giving them experiences. They don't need shit. They don't need another toy. They don't need another Play-Doh set. No. They don't need clothes. I'm going to start wearing uniforms next year, so they really don't need clothes like that. Does anybody else feel the same way? Just overwhelmed with stuff? It's just too much stuff. I have stuff in bins in my attic I got to go through. Because when we have functions at the house, we clean by throwing shit in bins and hiding it in the garage and the attic. And I have to go through that stuff. And you know what? I still have bins from my kids' birthday parties in December that we didn't go through. And it is May. And I haven't missed it. It's almost 6 months. I haven't missed or needed anything in those bins. I should just throw them away. Make sure there's nothing legal of importance in there and just toss it. I think that's what I'm going to do. It feels good to live a minimalistic lifestyle. Like clutter clutters your brain, clutters your mind. Trying to find my woo-saw zen. What else, guys? Happy Mother's Day or weekend. Just acknowledging the mamas out here as I charge. I think I'm going to start another card club. The card clubs for the over almost 40. We have functions and shit like that. Because I used to be part of a car club, but it was partying and racing and doing hood rat shit with your friends. We can't do hood rat shit. We own property now. Oh, new project. Because I'm a fucking wacko. I want to build an extension on my house. Because I realized as I was ha to all the people that missed out on 2021 to get obscenely obnoxious low interest rate, 2.25 right here, that we realized we got to stay in these houses forever. Because we're never going to get that again. I'm looking for other houses. The interest rate is almost 7% because I'm a wackadoo. I only keep cars for 3 years. And I live in houses for 5 to 7. I'm not getting that again. I don't care if your credit score is perfect and you put down 20%. You're not getting 2% interest ever again. Ever. So since we got to stay here, neighborhood is great. Block is great. Fucking quiet. When you go to sleep, my ears are ringing because it's so goddamn quiet. I don't have porch pirates. My neighbors look out for each other. I remember I had a big thing. It was in an unmarked box. My neighbor moved it to the back of my house. That's what we do. Okay. I saw that my neighbor was out of town and his flowers needed watering. I watered his flowers. That's what we do. Okay. My neighbor is working on his side of the house and some dust got on my car and he sprayed off my car so my car don't be dusty. That's what we do. Love it. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there for at least until the loan is paid off. Okay. And in 30 years, I'll be 70. I'm not going no fucking where. So, I'm going to put an extension on my house. I do worst case scenario with budgets. Do I think it's going to be 100,000? No. Is my worst case scenario 100,000? Yes. So no, I don't need a new phone when I want to put 2 extra rooms in the bathroom on my house. because I don't really use my backyard at all. It's pretty to look at when I look outside the window. Don't use my backyard. Paying for all this lawn care. Nobody really goes back there. I don't have functions back there because I don't like bugs. Even though I pay for bug treatment, they're still around and they're still a nuisance. We're not getting chomped on the way. Oh, look at that. A lightning just drove past me. An electric Ford F-150 at the charging station. See? Universe is talking to me. That's a big fucking car though. You hear the geese? I'm in Maryland. The geese is out here, baby. So they're having a whole conversation, guy. I wonder what they're talking about. Oh, because there's a dog. Oh, there's a dog on a leash. Because they were out here quiet, but there's a dog on a leash. But they don't seem scared of the dog. They're like, he ain't gonna do shit. Fuck that nigga. But look out. So I want to put an extension on my house. Just make it more livable for us. You know, my husband wanted a gym. He's right now in the garage because of the height requirements. We just build him the height that he needs to do his workouts, and then we'll have a bathroom on the main floor, half a bath on the main floor because we don't. So either I have 2.5 bathrooms, so one is in the basement, one is on the sleeping area, and then one is in the attic. So like if anybody stays over, they have a room in their own bathroom, but there's none on the main floor. So that's another project I'm working on. And no, don't clock my pockets. I do not have $100,000 in my bank account. No, I have to take out a loan. That's another payment. It's exhausting being me. And this is why I talk to myself in the phone. Happy Mother's Day, bitches. And men too. If you're playing the role of a mom, you get Mother's Day too. I used to give my mother Mother's Day and Father's Day presents because she played both roles. But then now she's not playing both roles anymore because I'm grown. But now she's, killing it as grandma. Don't tell her I told her. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Till next time.